Show your love, a community rallying cry. Treat our community like you would treat your own. That message helped set the stage for visitor interaction, but it also came from a place of genuine care from community leaders that simply want the best for High Country residents and their families. As we introduce a new award into our annual slate of honors, the notion of taking care of one another brings forward one of the strongest traits of those that work daily and tirelessly to make the lives better for the people around us. The namesake of our newly minted Citizen of the Year award embodied that spirit and motivated countless others to dig in and provide a friendly face and a helping hand. Tonight, we are honored to present the inaugural Kathy Crutchfield Citizen of the Year award.
Well, Kathy grew up on a farm in rural eastern North Carolina and didn't have any brothers or sisters, and somewhat economically distressed. And I think after college and after we got married and then having the opportunity later in life to sort of pay it forward and give back to the community, she had a great love for children in particular, and felt like a lot of her attention was directed toward them, and had the opportunity to work with as a volunteer in a number of organizations in the community, but most important to her was working behind the scenes and as a leader with the Back to School Festival. One of the responsibilities she took on was purchasing the shoes for the kids in the program, and that entailed over 1,000 pairs every year of various sizes, various shapes and forms, and for boys and girls. And many a time we would go to local merchants and merchants across the Carolinas, in fact, trying to find the good deals, and coming back to Boone with a carload of shoes and unloading those and sorting those and turning our downstairs area into a shoe central for the program. And she did that, gave her a lot of joy, and she did that each year, and even though she wasn't responsible in the giving out of the shoes at the event, the Back to School Festival, doing that behind the scenes gave her a lot of satisfaction, and it meant so much to the kids too. I know many of them were saying, this is the first time I've ever had a new pair of shoes to start school. So our whole family and her friends and colleagues that she's worked with over the years feel honor in having the award named after her. But she did give a lot as a volunteer to a dozen organizations locally, and I think those groups are so happy to be included in that as well, that she spread her time and energy and talent among those folks. And this is probably the most unusual year we've ever had in the Watauga community, and to choose someone like Jennifer Greene, who was probably the most significant leader in dealing with the COVID-19 problem. We couldn't be happier to have the first person to receive the award go to Jennifer in particular.
I think I started thinking about all the preparation for a future pandemic probably in February. We had heard about it, and I thought, oh, it's probably nothing, and then we kept hearing more, and we got our first case in early March, and so that's really what made me think we're going to see more actions here. And I think that part of it has been trying to think through really the fact that we have so little control when we have a pandemic, and trying to remind ourselves what we can control. Before the pandemic, we spent a lot of time thinking about what really our mission of AppHealthCare is and what are our core values that we hold dear, and we've really gotten an opportunity to lean into them a lot this year. when I've had an opportunity to remind our staff really over and over to say, even if you're the person taking the phone call, if you're the one doing the fax machine, if you're the one sending the email or answering a call, various inquiries, everything that we do adds up to this bigger whole, which is really impactful and makes a big difference. And just trying to remind our staff that, they really do make a difference, and they should feel, really good about the work that they are doing. And I think that's reminded them to, sort of take a minute to reflect and keep going when it's been really hard. It's about trying to cut through the noise that we all have. We're all in this heightened level of anxiety, so I'm just trying to, be like everyone else and think that, what I would like to hear is what are the key things that I can do, and what's the key takeaway that I need to have to protect my loved ones and the people that I'm around, and myself. And I think we're just trying to come from a place of empathy because we know this has been really hard in a lot of different ways for people. It's been harder this year than I would have imagined. In our pre-pandemic planning, I don't think we would have ever imagined public health advice being so polarizing as it has been this year. And so that's been challenging. But I do believe that one of the ways that we've been successful is just trying to build partnerships so that it's not just our voice, but it's the collective voices that are sharing the information that we're putting out that's really making the difference. And I think that's the goal of public health, that it's not just the health folks carrying it, but it's everyone knowing that they can help influence the health of their community by taking the right action steps.
Jen and the AppHealthCare, or local health department, have been a lifeline to our schools in helping us to navigate the Department of Health and Human Services guidelines, best practices, testing procedures, isolation protocols. As school teachers and school administrators, this has been a whole new world to us, but Jen has been a fantastic and close partner to help us to work through all of this.
I think it's about having a strong leadership team. It can't be just me. It's also, supportive board members and having local government leadership that supports us, and having our, really collective leadership team take time out to have a conversation. We started doing daily huddles, and, we spent time just having some open mic space for people to say, here's what I heard, or this is what I'm worried about, or here's a situation that came up yesterday. And it helps us problem solve together so that it's not just, one person's brain, but all of us collectively. And I think when people have an opportunity to express their concerns and problem solve together, it helps build the whole team's capability.
Before, whenever I heard the word pandemic, it's almost like pandemic equals panic. It's you don't know how you're going to react. You don't know anything about that. And I think Jen, the way that she has been so calm to always approach everybody to educate. When I do like the videos on Que Pasa Palache and everything, it is exhausting, and it's not the same topic over and over. I mean, for her to be on top of, the numbers, to make sure that she was covering all businesses, that the whole community was aware, the campaigns that she did and created, and also, in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. I'm mesmerized of her work ethic. And then again, she's so clear and so calm during a moment that we needed that. We needed somebody who was giving us all the information that we needed, what to do, how to follow, in such a calm way that we all did it because he was like, okay, we can do it. We can handle this.
I hope that there is some longstanding support for all of us having a role in supporting public health outcomes, because we know that they're tied to so much in our whole life, our economy, our so many systems that operate well when we are healthy and when we have public health working well. And unfortunately, it's sort of the curse that we've had. When public health works well, no one sees it. When things are solved quickly, we don't actually see the need for it. So I'm hoping that we will learn from this, and there will actually be some investment in public health, and not to just turn it to a financial conversation, but a lot of folks don't realize how much work it is to operate a public health agency and make sure that we have quality staff and that they're ready for the next pandemic that might be around the corner. And it's been a challenge for us. So I'm hoping that there will be lots of support locally, at a state level, and at a national level to support public health as a goal for us as a community, but also as a country. Because I think it's going to be needed at every level to see that we've learned from this pandemic and that we're prepared for the next one.